The use of social media sites has become a regular activity in today's society. One must wonder, how is it truly affecting our mental health and overall general well-being? Merriam-Webster defines social media as a form of electronic communication through which users create online communities to share information, ideas, personal messages, and other content. There have been numerous studies linking social media to anxiety and depression. It is important to note that different studies have varying results between association, no association, and mixed results. Is the fear of missing out increasing anxiety in social media users, subsequently lowering their sleep quality? Are some people drawn to social media due to underlying depression, or are individuals who use social media at a higher rate more likely to develop increased depression? When compared to the entirety of human history, social media has been around for a blink of an eye. Due to this, the availability of research on social media's impact on users is still extremely limited. The following presentation will address the positive and negative aspects of social media usage, to further expand on this topic, and to continue the discussion of social media and its impact on mental health.
Social media are websites and applications that enable users to share content on said platform. Common platforms consist of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Facebook is currently considered to be the largest social media platform in the world. Here is a timeline of the launch dates of the most popular social media platforms. It started with Facebook in 2004 to TikTok in 2018. Mental disorders are diseases that affect cognition, emotion, and behavioral control. Mental disorders are very common and interfere with people's ability to learn and function. People who have mental disorders can experience mood swings, social withdrawal, as well as dramatic changes in eating and sleeping patterns. Diagnosis is usually done by a physical exam, lab tests, and a psychological evaluation, which in turn determines treatment options. Our group conducted an anonymous survey of the students at the University of Houston based on their social media usage and their mental health status. The majority of students were in the age ranges of 18 to 25 and identified as female. We found that the majority of students spend about 2 to 4 hours on social media, and it was determined that Instagram was the most popular platform. About 37% of participants had not had any disorders, while most had one or more. Only 24% of people surveyed stated that they are clinically diagnosed or seeking professional help. Based on this pie chart and the survey that we conducted, it can be concluded that roughly 30% of college students disagree with the statement that there are more positive than negative effects of social media on young people.
Participants were also asked if social media personally affected their mental health. 47.4% had no impact, 33.1% had a negative impact, and 19.5% saw a positive impact. Then they were asked if they have ever taken a break from social media, and a little over half responded with yes. Have taken a break from social media, how their mental health was impacted by the break. One participant explained that it gave them the opportunity to disconnect and self-reflect to better themselves. Some explained that it prevented them from comparing their life to others, which overall helped their mental health. In the first study we researched, a total of 1,763 young adults ages 19 to 32 participated and were asked to estimate how often they were checking social media 30 minutes before falling asleep at night. It was concluded that greater social media usage was independently associated with greater sleep disturbance. This could be due to the emittance of blue light, disrupting the normal circadian rhythms, or by the emotional or cognitive arousal before bed. This is connected to the next study, which relates sleep quality and mental health in undergraduate students.
9 university students ages 18 to 25 were selected based on their generally healthy sleep habits. 3 questionnaires were used to make a connection between sleep quality and mental health. The first two focuses on sleep-related qualities, and the last one focuses on mental health. The researchers concluded that poor sleep quality is broadly associated with reduced mental health in university students. Both studies underline the importance of evaluating social media usage. This allows individuals to avoid effects of disturbed sleep, which can lead to mental health problems.
The psychological phenomenon fear of missing out, or FOMO, was the main highlight of this study, as it was used to explore and predict the relationship between social media use, problematic social media use, and phubbing behavior. Andrew Przybylski, a British experimental psychologist, explained that FOMO originates from psychological deficits in people's competence and relatedness needs. Many individuals satisfy these needs through the use of social media applications. People with high FOMO are solely attracted towards social media because they can comfortably and freely lurk on these platforms without risking a label of voyeur.
An article titled "The College Student's Anxiety, Social Media Engagement, and Fear of Missing Out" claims that it has both helped and harmed students' social and academic life. Fear of missing out is this generation's phrase of stating their desire to be connected with their peers and not want to miss out on activities that they do. These studies in the article examine over 330 students in Taiwan that use self-reporting measures and focus on the platform Facebook. The study found that excessive time spent on Facebook was correlated with the neglect of academia, as well as patterns of irritation and difficulty sleeping.
In the current situation in the world, we can't erase the effect the pandemic has had on social media use and mental health. People have been using social media to find out COVID-19 information, which may be contributing to psychological distress. Since the pandemic began, people have reported increased levels of mental health symptoms, especially anxiety and depression. A study of 439 college students conducted in Wuhan, China, where the virus originated, showed that anxiety and depression levels of people with frequent social media use are very high and that people do need breaks so they feel less overwhelmed. It is necessary to life because humans are social creatures that require companionship to thrive. Social connection relieves stress, anxiety, and depression. However, it creates the pressure to become the stereotype that others want to see and wanting to become as popular as others. Nonetheless, social media also generates the space to disclose minority experiences and share ways to cope and get support. This is crucial on college campuses like the University of Houston, where diversity is prevalent. Young adults especially experience anxiety from social media as they have greater fear of loss, so they respond and check their friends' messages more frequently. To take into consideration is the correlation between problematic social media use and depression and anxiety. The definition of problematic social media use is the excessive concern about social media. This excessive concern, sometimes bordering obsession, can affect the functionality of how we do things in our daily lives, including personal connections, professional duties, and educational deadlines. When we give in to procrastinating on social media in lieu of something of greater importance, failure is a typical outcome and subsequently creates higher levels of anxiety. Continuing in this direction, those that put more time and emotional investment into social media typically have higher levels of anxiety and depression.
Many ways to seek help if you're struggling with poor mental health. For UH students, there's a program called CAPS that can provide counseling and psychological services. Other resources include seeking professional help, or if the issue relates to social media, to limit or avoid social media usage.
We found out that social media could be a helpful tool to stay connected, but it could have adverse effects on sleep quality, self-esteem, and overall mental health. This could be due to the negative information shared online or the comparison of lifestyles. This could lead to poor perception of oneself, negative academic performance, or a disconnect from reality, all of which can affect mental health.